Hello to all the spirits around and within this space. I am Naeyla. I come to you through Keda. I come for a number of reasons, primarily to share love, to show how we access love, how you facilitate that access through your living in this time space and reality. I'm here not to tell you what you must do or tell you what is coming, but those are questions that often come up and can be addressed. My primary function outside of enjoying this world through and with Keda is to guide you and share with you opportunity to shift the way you perceive this beautiful world in which you live with all its textures. This time elicits many questions, much chagrin, much anxiety, many manifestations or facets of emotion and missing trust. If I were, through Keda, to sit here and tell you that some of what is happening now and exists on this planet now shouldn't be, or there are people on this planet that shouldn't be, I would not be correct, nor would I be helpful. The reality is, based on your acceptance and understanding, capacity to understand, is that everything that exists as you perceive it is necessary. Everything. How can that be? How can horrible death, cruel leaders, famine, destruction of the planet be necessary? There are many people who are taking the opportunity to follow compulsions and hints within themselves that tells them there's something else. And they understand there's something more than what appears before us. There is something more than what appears to be hurtful. What does that hurt elicit? What does the pain bring? It's not just pain. It's not just chaos. It's not just negative and darkness. It's never just. Conversely, it's not just what is termed as good and bright and joy. Many people busy themselves with trying to gain enlightenment, perceiving enlightenment to be just light, that there is a type of utopia as defined as a perfect world. The perfection of the world is in its texture, not in it being one thing, light, or for those who choose, the opposite, I guess, of that dark. It's never one thing. The perfection is the integration of those two. It's a symbiotic relationship. It is one that necessitates both. Absolutely. And I hesitate with absolutely because, definitive statements tend to be wrong from the moment they're uttered. because the universe is continually creating, evolving, transitioning. So the minute that someone makes a conclusive statement, that statement switches, so to speak. It's no longer conclusive. It's no longer absolute. So to the point of light and dark, all the things that are happening that causes you pain, that elicits suffering within you, understand when you've dealt with the emotional charge of the situation, allow yourself to look more deeply to obtain the gift within the experience. The things that I mentioned, the cruel leaders, let's take that as an example. The cruel leaders wake up people who have gifts that they've maybe not been willing to share before, gifts of leadership, gifts of compassion, gifts of contributing to the world and their society and their group in very unique ways. Every single one of you have a unique way to contribute to the world. And because of different life experiences, some of you disallow the expression of those gifts. Things such as a cruel leader, a painful circumstance can be said to wake up your willingness to express that gift. Now, some may argue, and I'm not here to debate, I'm here to express, but I realize that some may argue, well, you're saying that, these atrocities that happen and at the hands of these cruel people, that they are meant to be, and how is that good? How does that fit in with what we talk about as evolving and progressing? You've heard perhaps the term of fire in a forest, allowing for new growth, or farmers burning fields, again, for the same reason. Making space for new requires the exit of the old. People such as whoever one may use as an example, as a cruel leader, because there are many examples, allow for that to happen. They allow for that to happen. Each being contracts to come to this world for a very specific purpose, in conjunction with other beings in various forms, many forms, some of which you are not aware. But the fact is, if you were to allow yourself to understand that everything that happens, everything that exists has purpose, then you can set about the business of exploring and discovering what that purpose is. Lamenting the existence of whatever appears before you creates suffering. It simply creates suffering. Wanting something to be as something different creates suffering. Not in the way of having an inclination to change what is in front of you. That is fine. Be about the business of that. However, if one were to sit and say, I wish that the sky was not blue. I simply wish that the sky was not blue. I wish the sky was not blue. I'm not happy with the sky being blue. That creates a very difficult situation. The sky is perceived as blue. You have options, you have choices not to look at the sky, discover scientifically how it may be perceived differently, to stay within a building that doesn't allow you to see the sky. But to stare at the sky, the blue sky and wish it to be another color creates nothing but suffering. Looking at the situation in the world and simply saying, I just wish it were different, I want it to be different, that creates suffering. Looking at the world and saying, what can I contribute and do in order to bring about the change that I would like to see? That creates an opening. That creates a pathway of progression. That also helps to unlock whatever gifts and unique contributions that lie in wait to be expressed to the world.